this is Noreen from Joya Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, click that subscribe and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Anyway, today we are making this really pretty card. Here's the front and here's the inside, and it is, yes, from the new mini catalog, the Stampin' Up! January to April 2023. It's on page 18 and it's called Lighting the Way Bundle. Of course, it's the stamp and the die, so that's why it's a bundle. And we are going to do this one. Now, I'm going to be doing this card for my card class on February 11th, 2023. And I've got a couple of spots left. If anybody is from the Denver area and you want to come to my card class, what we do is we do one stamp set. So we're going to do just this card stamp. I have everyone purchase that stamp and die. And then what we also will get, because I'll do it as a bundle, is I'll get your celebrations for you, and then I'll pull all the rewards, and you'll get an extra reward thing and maybe some other prizes as well. It also includes lunch. It's $30 for the class, and you pay for the die set, and then we're set to go, but you're going to get a lot of freebies. So let me show you how this stamps out first. So here's how everything stamps out. And I did these in green because, you know, they're supposed to be green. And then I did the circles, and I just realized the circles are actually supposed to be in yellow because they're the, you know, the lightning from the lightning bug. And then we've got three little lightning bugs here, a big, a medium, and a small. What's funny is I thought these were bumblebees at first, but they're lightning bugs, like big duh, Noreen. And then we've got 3 sentiments here. So those stamp out pretty well. If you notice, I have a piece over this. It's because they do halo a little bit. So just be careful when you're pushing down on them. They do halo quite easily. So there's how they stamp out. And then with the dies, these are the ones that go with the die. So there are really only 6 dies that have a stamp toward it. Technically 7 because they gave you 2 of the same exact dies. So these are the same. So I don't know why, but so that's how these stamp out. And they stamp out pretty good, and they're pretty good to line up. So that's good. Now, here's all the dies. So you've got the lantern and the things that match, the leaves here. And then I'll show you this in a moment. These are the bumblebees. You can put them together. These are the ones that you just cut out. And also on the lantern, I kept the circle. I'm always looking for dies that have circles. I'm always looking for a good circle for something. But so keep in mind that this die has that circle ability. So just, you know, in the back of your mind. But this is the dies that layer together. So it's this one, and this one. And you cut these out. So you cut all 3. And the wings go under the belly, and the yellow part of the lightning bug, they all go under the belly. And like I said, these 3, which are all the same, there are 3 of these dies, just cut out these dies there. They don't have a stamp that goes with them. But what's also funny, and I'll probably do this in my card class, is that you can also make bumblebees. So I made 2 here. And what I did is I cut off the wings on the main part here and kept these wings and kept this, but cut it out in the same color. So, and I just put them together, and I just took a marker and did the black and the yellow. This bumblebee has white wings. This one has vellum wings. So you can do bumblebees if you don't want to do a lightning bug. So that's basically how the stamps and die cuts. So now let's get to the card. Before we get to the card, I do want to point out all of my dies go on magnets, and these are the Stampin' Storage magnets. I just put them back in the original sleeve here. I am an Amazon affiliate. If you go to the description of my video and click down the little arrow on the show more and all that other good stuff, everything about this card will be in the description of my video. All the supplies I used, all the colors I used, all the things that aren't Stampin' Up, like the magnets here, will be on an Amazon link. It says Stampin' Up and Non-Stampin' Up. I am an Amazon affiliate. I'm completely checked out. You can click on my links. They are safe. And what happens is that even if you don't buy anything, just by clicking on an Amazon link, you do help me with my small business, because anything you buy from Amazon in 24 hours, I get a little kickback. It's like taking money from Jeff Bezos, and that's a good thing. So the magnets are on that site. Also my glass and anything that you don't see, anything here that you see that's not Stampin' Up. So anyway, back to the card. So this is a 5.5 by 4.25 card. So I've got this in Starry Sky. Now, if you notice, the edging here is gold. Also, the lightning bugs have gold, because we are gonna do the gilded leafing, but not yet. So we got to do some coloring. This is a really cool card. So, but you've got your Starry Sky, and then you're gonna take a piece of gold foil, and this is 5.5 by 4.25. Now, all the dimensions are in the description of the video, so you can relax and watch the thing and get all the information by just clicking next to the title of the video and popping everything down. So, and what I also did is I took this gold foil and used my rectangle stitched frame and cut out the middle, because look at all this gold foil that you waste that no one will ever see. So I cut that out with my rectangle stitch frames. Now I used the second largest for this one. And then on the inside of the card, I also have that gold foil, and the inside of the card, this piece is cut 4 by 5.25, and I used the third largest rectangle stitch frame and cut out that middle, because there's no reason to waste this gold. So we're going to start on the inside, and I'm going to take this gold foil, put it back in its little paper envelope there, and I'm going to snail this on, and then I'm also going to take a Starry Sky, and this is 3.75 by 5, and I'm going to snail those on. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. So far you've got this. So let's put our card to the side, because we're going to make the inside of the card here. Now I'm going to be using 3 different colors: Tahitian Tide, Pacific Point, and Starry Sky. And I do use individual blending brushes for colors, and then I clean them. I do not like using blending brushes that aren't clean. So every time I use something, I clean them off. Now, Stampin' Up! Did come out with the smaller brushes, and yes, that is in the new mini catalog here. So these are great. And if you go to the description of my video, I know, and you go to the Stampin' Up! Products and click on those links, it'll go right to that item on my Stampin' Up! Site, so I get credit for it. So those are really cool. So we always start with the lightest color first, and we're going to go ahead and use Tahitian Tide and bump that off there, and we are going to apply the ink. And I'm just going to go around here and do the Tahitian Tide. And it's not a very dark color when you do this, so don't be surprised. And we just want that hue. Okay, and I've got some scratch paper here. And then I'm going to go in with Pacific Point. Pacific Point is definitely darker, so careful. And I'm going to give it some swirls around here. Okay, and then I'm going into Starry Sky. This is very, very dark. Be very, very careful. And I'm going to go around, and it gives off that nice purpley to it. Turn that around. And that's how we do the background. Now let's stamp the lightning bug. I'm going to use the medium one. I found that the little one is really easy to smush, and I didn't want to do that. So we're going to take this little cluster of lightning bugs and the medium one, and we're going to take our memento. So we're going to go ahead and do the bumblebee first, just like that. And then the cluster of lightning bugs. Did I just call that a bumblebee? So I'm going to do that. And just like that. Now, you can, if you want to, take the dark Daffodil Delight and just fill in its little hiney there. Or you can leave it blank, either way. And then all I have to do is affix it in the card. And that's what it looks like. Now let's get to the front. Now we already cut our 5.5 by 4.25 with the rectangle stitch frame, the second largest one, just so we don't waste that gold foil, and take that out. And all I'm going to do is snail this up. And if you notice, I'm using my silicone craft sheet because it keeps my glass clean. My glass is never dirty. So I'm going to take this and stick it on the middle. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Now that the gold is on there, we're going to work on the background here. And this is a 4 by 5.25 basic white. And if you notice, half of it is in that nice blue combination that we did in the middle, and then on the bottom it's green. So we're going to do like maybe, I don't know, maybe like 3/4 of it in this blue. So we're going to start with the lightest one again, and we're going to circle that in. Now that green's pretty dark, so if I get any of this light blue into the green, it's okay. In fact, it might even look a little neat. And you do want it to have some whiteness there because it's just a different, lighting. So I've got that in. Now I'm going to do that Pacific Point. Like I said, be careful with the Pacific Point and the Starry Sky because they're dark. So I'm going to do definitely the outside edge, like doing that. And then maybe just get on the inside a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my Starry Sky. Super dark. Be careful. I'll probably do the same thing with the edge. Try not to do a swirl mark. You can help it. Get that edge. Get the middle a little bit. And then I might, adjust the color a little bit because this is the front of the card. Okay, so that's how we do the sky. Now for the grass area, I'm going to take garden green, and I just inked the stamp as well. So be careful about your colors. So I'm going to put in that garden green. And then I'm going to go in with some evening evergreen. Okay. And no two inked items will look exactly alike. That would be like impossible. So anyway, just play around with your colors a little bit, see where you want to take them. And I think I'm going to stop there. Now we're going to put in all the grass. Now stay tuned for the gilded gold leaf, so don't go away. So I'm going to take the largest stamp here. We're going to use this one, this one, this one, and the little grass one here. And garden green again. And I'm going to put it right on the edge here. Okay. And then I'm going to take the one on the other end and put it here. Okay. Now, if you miss the edge just a little bit, you can fix that. Let me just grab my garden green pen. So I have these Stampin' Right pens. I really like them. So you could just fix it that way. So that's no big deal. And then let's take this one here, kind of put it in the middle here. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the grass and we're going to stamp it and then stamp it off a few times. So I'm going to stamp it, then stamp, stamp. Stamp it, stamp, stamp. And just fill it in as much as you're comfortable with. And even go above where they are. And I'm going to put another one here. So I'm going a little higher. So there's my leafy background. Now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take my Parakeet Party Pad, put some ink refill there and take a brush. Now these brushes, because I'm going to be using 2 of these brushes here, these are in the description of my video. They're on an Amazon link. So they're Stampin' Up and Non-Stampin' Up. These are on the Non-Stampin' Up. These brushes, they are called Royal and Langnickel. And I picked out a set. So they're like $8 and you get a whole bunch of brushes, and these 2 are in there. So I'm going to take this one that's kind of flat, and I'm going to give a little bit of extra green to the leaves, just because I think it gives them just a little bit more of a definition. Just in the big ones here. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and I can only see it, but I can really see it here. So you can try on this one. It might be a little too dark. Where that one in the middle here, it's not like a solid stamp. And I just thought this kind of looked a little neat. If you ever want to give a little texture to something, you can do this. You can paint with your inks. In fact, I've got lots of videos on my Joya Cards site that that I paint. So you can definitely paint with these. And you can put them on the grass like I'm doing here. But it just gave a little something, something. And, you know, just if you do a lot of backgrounds, this is kind of useful. But that's what I did. And then when I store this for a while, you can either put it upside down and then that ink will just drip into the pad and it'll be good for the pad. So there's the background. Now let's put in our little lightning bugs. Now I only used the big one and the medium one. I didn't use this one so much because I thought it was a little smudgy looking. So I'm going to go ahead and put the big one right here. Make sure you try not to halo that guy. Push down firmly, but don't rock it. It does need to be pushed down firmly. So I'm going to do this one like that. So press firmly, lift straight up. And I'm going to put this guy here. Press firmly, lift up. And it's only because I played with those stamps, I kind of know what they're going to do. So there's the lightning bugs. So real quick, I am going to dry this ink a little bit. I just inked this pad. It's a little juicy for doing backgrounds. I usually have all my pads pretty dry for that reason. So I'm going to turn on my heat gun and just dry them a little bit before I start inking on top. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Now let's get our sentiment on there. We're going to do thanks for lighting the way. So we're going to use Memento again and just put that right here and don't rock it. There we go. Now let's give the little lightning bugs a little glow. Now I will show you, I swear, it's literally at the end how we're going to do the gold leaf. So, but we need to do this first. So there are 3 sizes here. I'm going to use the big one and the medium one, and I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. So let's get Daffodil out, and I'm going to put them right over the buttocks here, burp, just like that. And let's do the medium one. Make sure I have the medium one. Oh, I didn't have the big one. That's the big one. I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the medium one and the small one. Sorry about that. And the small one right over the buttocks right there. And then I'm going to do some random ones in the grass. And I'm going to do a stamp and a stamp off kind of thing. Just like that. So the last thing we're going to do to the background here is that gold leafing. Now I really want this to be dry, and we just inked their little buttocks. So, and I didn't want to do it the other way because it might pull the gold leaf off. So I'm going to heat gun it again and just make sure their little booties are dry. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Now we're going to do something really crazy. So we are going to take the little skinny brush. Like I said, in my Amazon affiliate links in the description of the video, there's a package of these brushes, and you'll always use a brush, but there's a super skinny one, and that's the one we're going to use. This is the one where we did on the leaves, so we'll put that down. And we're going to take our silicone craft sheet, and we're going to take our Versamark ink refill. And I'm going to put a blob on my silicone craft sheet. And I'm going to take this really super skinny brush and I'm going to paint the entire little booty of the lightning bug. So, and then we're going to be doing some gold leafing. So I'm going to take this, and you want to get a real thin layer because this stuff is it's really thick. I mean, when you use a stamp on it, I mean, think about how much it really picks up on the stamp and how much I'm picking up on this brush. So make sure that you put a thin layer and make sure that you cover all of the little bottom part of their little buttocks. So, and the little ones, man, it's even harder to do that because you're gonna just put a little bit, but you gotta make sure stuff is on there because with the gold leafing, we're gonna be using the sticky powder. It's not regular embossing powder. The sticky powder goes with the gold leaf. That was in the annual catalog. So we're gonna do some more here, and letting it dry a little bit isn't a bad idea because you don't know if you got it on there real thick or not. So you just want to make sure that you don't put too much. So maybe take some off of your brush here and work it on. Now, don't forget, I'm doing a card class on February 11th. If you are interested, I live in the Denver, Colorado area, and come by and take a class. You do buy the stamp and die set, like I said, but I buy them all together. I buy them here and you just pay me when you get to the class. And what you'll get is your celebration item. And by the way, here, let me show you what the celebration items are because they're really cool. You've got, try not to get that in the verse mark. You got the owls, you got an Easter looking one with carrots, you got this beautiful DS paper, you've got this, the farm stuff is really cute, I've got that one. In fact, if you go to my unboxing video, I show you all the papers. You got a big old sentiment set, you got this beautiful paper here. The backgrounds, I'm so looking forward to doing these backgrounds. There's another flower one. Here's some Dandy Designs paper. You get 48 sheets in that one. And then if you host, there's a host stamp set that you can get for free if you do a host thing, which you can do virtually. I can give you a code and you can get a couple of friends and you can host one and get that for free. Also, if you want to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, they have 3 options. This is through the end of February. For $129, you get one of these mini die cutter machines and $175 worth of stuff for $129. You can get it either in that white one or a blue one. That's the second option. And the third one is for $99. You get $175 worth of stuff. So that's a great deal. But so I just wanted to spend a little time and let that dry. In fact, I'm going to hit it with my, my gun again. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. So in order for the gilded gold to stick, you have to use the heat and stick powder. So I've got that off, and this is that new, it's called the Embossing Editions Toolkit. I really love it. Oh gosh, I almost forgot to do my embossing buddy. I already put the Versamark on there, so I'm trying not to hit it. So it shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, you want to do this before you paint it. Anyway, let's get back to the powder. I'm going to put this on here. Okay. And you can tell where it's hit. So flick it off here. They even include one of these little brushes, which is nice. So I'm going to take the brush and just go around because I missed doing my embossing buddy before I did the Versamark, which is a real novice move. I usually keep the embossing buddy in this tray so I don't forget, and it was out of the tray. So that was my bad. but that's okay. We can fix it. So I'm just brushing all this away. Okay. This also has that nice little feature where you can take off the cap and pour it right back into the cap here, or in the, yeah, the container. And you're all set to go. Now let's do some gold leafing. Now that you've got the sticky powder on there, go ahead and start embossing. So I've got my heat gun right here, and I'm gonna emboss that powder in. And if you notice, I am using like this stand. It's a Totally Tiffany stand that keeps my gun, you know, like really before you start using it, you should warm it up. So I can put it in here, turn it on, warm it up. I also have a little thing here that I can attach my piece onto and hold it away so I don't burn myself. And it has some stuff where you can put folders and stuff. But this is really neat. This is also on my Amazon link. It's called a Totally Tiffany embossing station or something like that. So we've got those on. So they're all embossed. Now for the main event. We're going to take the gilded leafing. This is in the annual catalog. And I put mine, I take it out of this thing because this stuff flies literally everywhere. You're going to be wearing it. You're going to find it in your underwear. It'll be all over the house if you don't like control it. And how I control it is I put it in one of these boxes and something with a high edge. So when they float around, because they weigh nothing, they'll stay semi-contained. So I'm going to take a piece of the gold leaf here. I'm going to grab kind of a bigger one for the bigger lightning bug. And I'm going to put it right on his booty. So I want to get one that covers the whole piece. And I think that one will do. All right. And I'm going to push down on it. Okay. And then I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to put it on the other three. And just like I said, you got to contain this stuff because it literally goes crazy. So I'm just taking pieces. That's a big piece and that's a big piece. Okay. And we're going to let it sit for a minute. And like I said, and I usually do this inside. In fact, I'll put it in here for now because we're going to be taking a stencil brush. This is also on my Amazon affiliate links. So go to the description of my video, go to Non-Stampin Up for sale, and this is there. And there's like a 3-pack, and this is a number 4. It just is really nice. I keep it with the box, and I put the brush on top. Don't put the brush inside here because, yeah, it'll collect everything, and it's just kind of a pain. So let's go ahead and give this a little bit more time because I did put a lot of Versamark down because we were using a brush. So I was trying to be careful, but sometimes you can just get away with, get a little carried away with the Versamark. But you know what? Hey, let's live on the wild side. Let's try it on one of the smaller ones. And if it doesn't look good, you could just put on a little bit more, try the process again, and get it to where you want it. So we're going to take the stencil brush and we're going to brush that gold off. So I very gently used the brush here and I got it up. Now you might want to practice your lightning bugs on a different piece of paper. Now, if you do mess one up, it's really easy to fix. Like if something doesn't go on right, you can take one of your spatulas here and just scrape the whole thing off and start over again. It's super easy to do. But if you practice on a scratch paper, you'll get it right. And I did let this dry a little bit before I went to my brush. I did want to, it was perfect and the other ones didn't come out the way I wanted them to. So I scraped it off and I redid it. And after I embossed it and put the gold on, I let it sit for like 10 minutes. And then I gently took the brush and then I took my spatula here and I also shaped the little bodies here. So that's how you do the gold leafing. And the only thing left is to just nail the background onto the card, and that's it. Isn't that a really pretty card? Like I said, if you want to join my card class on February 11th, just put a note in the video here and I'll get a hold of you and set you up. But that will do it for me. Thanks. Bye.